Now, have you registered yet to vote in the EU referendum on the 23rd of June? If not, you've got until midnight tomorrow to get yourself signed up online. Otherwise, it's too late. One campaign has thought of a rather unique way to help encourage 18 to 24-year-olds to get themselves registered. Would you like to register to vote? So the scene was set. As you can see, these young people weren't really sure what was planned. They thought that they were registering to vote, and in order to make them realise that every vote is precious, what was the other side of that curtain? What a brilliant idea. Joined by Henry Hitchcox, the founder and executive producer of Action Productions, who produced the video, and Louis Persent, the spokesperson for the campaign group Wake Up and Vote. Hello to you, gentlemen.
Hiya.
Thank you. That was very clever. Who came up with the idea?
That was us.
Okay.
Yeah, we just wanted to create something that sort of felt relevant and that young people would want to watch and want to share. Yeah, and we also really wanted to celebrate those that were registering on the day and kind of give them an unforgettable experience. So that was kind of our thinking.
Is it quite difficult, Louis, to get people to register to vote? It certainly looks like it. A lot of people who are the older population generation will register. Youngsters not so interested.
Yeah, we know there's a massive lack of young people that are on the electoral roll. And like when you look at the general election last year, we had 43% 18 to 24-year-olds that turned out and voted, versus nearly 80% of over 65s. So Wake Up and Vote, we're neutral, and we just think that this is one of the biggest decisions that this country's going to have in a generation or so. And it's really important that everyone's represented in making that decision, and all these different opinions and perspectives are factored into that. So Henry's made this amazing video. We've got loads of social content, thousands of likes, thousands of shares, and we just want people to go and register because tomorrow at midnight is the deadline.
That's it, isn't it? Presumably you both registered.
I have registered.
Just checking. How challenging was it to organise? Because some of these young people, when they walked through that curtain, in fact, one young chap went straight back again, didn't he? Was not sure at all.
Yeah, we had, well, in terms of the people that came in, the majority of them loved it. In fact, a few of them milked it a little bit too much.
We can see that as well.
But yeah, then we had a couple of people that needed a bit of persuasion to get through, and I think we only had one on the day that didn't go through.
OK. How challenging was it, though, to actually organise, given that young people are not keen to get engaged, are they? They're not keen, as we were saying, to actually register to vote, but to actually get involved in this way. I suppose that was a fun thing to do. So you, to a certain extent, you were saying, come on, have a great time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we couldn't say come and have a great time because they thought they were just coming in to register on an iPad. So it was like we had to kind of persuade them to register thinking they were just going to be registering. And then I guess the hard thing was keeping everyone quiet behind the door and communicating the name, because we basically got their names at the door. So we'd be like, the name's Jessica, the name's Jessica. And then everyone, when they came in, would scream Jessica. So keeping everyone quiet and keeping the surprise through that corridor was pretty tricky.
Ones that were actually on the red carpet, the lineup, they were obviously all in on the joke. Have they all signed up to vote as well?
We asked them, yeah, to sign up, and they all said they had. We'll try and double check.
OK. Why do you think, Louis, that young people don't feel as engaged? Do you think it's because they don't think that politicians think they have a voice, or do you think there's another reason?
I think it's actually quite difficult to speak to, I mean, we use this term young people, and actually we know that it's a diverse group of people, and politicians have found it very hard to engage, and that's why we're focused on social media. It's a completely different way of talking to people, and our content is a lot more lighthearted, a lot more fun, and actually I think we're just trying to find a different way of speaking to people. I think people care, people are interested, but successive kind of years have gone by where we've seen the number of people voting drop off, and we just are really determined now to actually find a different way of talking to people. And I think hopefully there are some lessons that we can learn about actually how do we get young people involved in politics, in this decision, and especially because the referendum, it isn't party political. So it's a massive decision that affects young people more than everyone else really, because they're going to be living longest with the consequences.
And did you find that people were chatting about it afterwards, Henry? I mean, were people engaged, given that they were there and then had registered to vote, and it was a lot of fun, but were they also talking about politics?
Yeah, a lot of people were chatting about it afterwards. I mean, I think they were a bit overwhelmed by the whole experience, but we interviewed them afterwards and they were all talking about the importance of voting, and a lot of them were kind of saying they were annoyed at themselves for having not registered already, and that it was good to have that little bit of extra persuasion. But I think out on the streets when we were welcoming people in, there was a mixed number. I think quite a few people had registered, which was nice to see, but there were a lot of people that were quite apathetic as well and just not interested, and we couldn't even persuade them to come in and register. So there's definitely a mixed bag.
Now, I've thought of a challenge.
Right.
Glastonbury.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah. Have you registered to vote by post?
I've registered to vote by post, and I think that's something that people really need to remember, is not just to remember to register before midnight tomorrow, but to get that postal vote sorted, because I know a lot of...
You can do a postal vote, you can do a proxy vote as well. So if you are going to Glastonbury, make sure...
So for all people that are watching, Glastonbury is at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same weekend.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, so it starts on Thursday, which means it interrupts with the referendum. So yeah, we need people to make sure that they're registered before they go, well, before Tuesday.
So what do you do if you want to register to vote? How do you do it?
You go on the government website and you sign up. They say it takes 5 minutes, it takes even less. I think I did it in about a minute and a half.
What do you need?
So if you've got your national insurance number, it will speed things up, but you don't actually need it. So if you want to find it, which will help things go really smoothly, it will be on a pay slip or another kind of P60 type form. But
I'm sure we can show that on screen when somebody's listening. There we go.
But if
there
you
we
don't
go.
have
So
that,
this is. So you see this form.
Yeah.
You see this form.
This is online.
Yeah.
Go start now. Follow the instructions. And if you can't find that national insurance number, you can actually click a little link and you can input why you can't find it, and then you should actually you should still get on the register if you make sure you make the deadline.
And to register for a postal vote. More or less along the same time?
I did it a while ago.
Did you? Because you've had your tickets a while,
That's my
haven't you?
excuse. I've had my tickets a while and I did it a while ago, but I think it's similar process, isn't it?
Everything's on the website, so it will walk you through.
Okay. Do you think we'll have a record number of young people, that phrase again, young people, whatever that means, as you quite rightly say, Louis, coming out to vote this time?
I can't say for sure, but we're working hard to try and get as many people as possible. And, you know, we've got loads more stuff that we're doing over the next kind of 48 hours. So hopefully, if you are watching, if you know a young person, you know, it's not even about the actual way they're voting. It's about saying, come on, make sure that you're even able to vote on the 23rd. Yeah,
I think it's great. We managed to get hundreds of thousands of views in the 2 or 3 days that it's been out, and Louis and I actually just checked, and there's been 100,000 18 to 24s who've registered in the last 3 days. Not claiming
100,000 in the last
3 days.
That's
yeah.
sensational.
Yeah, it's been great.
You've got, in some small part, down to you guys.
I'm not going to take any credit for it, but it's great.
Walk down that red carpet. It's great to talk to both of you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. We appreciate it. Don't forget to vote. Thanks a lot. Just want to